Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. TSP here with another video. It's Motivational Monday and it's Labor Day, so have a happy Labor Day to you. If it's your first time here, please subscribe for more content, and if you enjoy this video, please drop a like and definitely comment. Let me know some things that you'd like to hear about and like to discuss on this channel. Today, I think it's entirely appropriate, with it being Labor Day, for me to talk about goals and goal setting, and definitely appropriate for Motivational Monday because goals are so important when it comes to our motivation. So the first and foremost thing that I want to talk about is whether or not you set goals at all. So for most of us throughout our entire lives, we're told by other people that we need to set goals. And to some extent that might be true, but if the goals that you're setting are things that are placed on you externally by external pressures, other people are telling you that you need to be wanting to do this or that you should be doing something, then you need to reassess and determine if that is truly a goal for you and that is truly something you want to engage in, because typically the goals that we're moving towards take energy, right? They take energy, and if the going gets tough, the tough gonna get going and you're gonna quit. So make sure that you actually want to set goals. So one of the things that is important is that, for myself, I don't set a goal unless I know for sure this is something that I'm going to pursue with every ounce of my being, every fiber that I have, and that I desire very strongly. And so a lot of times I don't set goals, and part of that is because part of the way I view life is that life is growth. Everything in life is growth. So I'm always trying to improve myself in various aspects, in various areas of my life. And so some might say that's a goal, but it's not. That's just how I live my life. And so I guess to some extent, I might not need goals, those overarching goals. But I don't often like to set those external goals, those goals that other people say I should be moving towards because of that. So the first thing is, determine whether or not you want to set a goal at all. You don't have to set goals. Don't think you expected somebody to say that, or somebody, by somebody I mean anybody, me. Anyway, the next part is that let's look at the actual goals. So you've decided that you actually do want to set a goal. Let's talk about setting the actual goal. The first thing is that we don't want to set goals that are too high or too low. Okay, so when it comes to too high, we don't want goals that are so lofty that they're literally impossible for you to reach. Okay, we want something that's going to be within your grasp. On the other hand, we don't want to set goals that are so low that you really don't have to work. You don't have to stretch yourself. So these goals that you're setting are going to be goals that are going to stretch you. They're going to push you outside of your comfort zone, but they're also not going to be so hard that you really can't make or reach that goal. That you can't reach that goal. Alright? So when we're talking about the overarching goals that we're trying to set, we want to look at what your dreams are. Think about what are the things that you ultimately and truly want in life. What are the things that you just have dreamed of for maybe most of your life, or that you have just a significant and strong desire to attain. And we have to, again, make sure that these things are things that you truly want, not things that people are telling you that you should want. So if you don't really want that 2 kids and a dog and a family, then don't put that on yourself. Really look at yourself and say, what do I really want? Not the things that your parents told you or that your friends told you that you should want to have, or not things that you even see other people having. Think about what you really want. What are those things that you truly dream of? And that's where we're going to start at your dreams. So those are going to be your long-term goals. Oftentimes these long-term goals are going to be a year or 2 or so out. So think about what that time frame is, a realistic time frame for you to be able to attain that goal. So first we have this long-term goal that, let's say it's a year out. Within that, we need to set up shorter goals for us to be able to make sure that we're progressing towards that ultimate long-term goal. So at the next level, we want to be looking at what are some mid to short-term goals. So monthly goals. What are monthly goals that I can be working on to make sure that I'm moving each every month towards that ultimate long-term year goal, okay? And so at the next level, we want to look at weekly goals. So we want to be developing weekly goals to say, hey, what can I be doing every week that's going to move me towards that monthly goal? And so once I meet that monthly goal, then I can make to the next monthly goal. And at the most basic level, we want to look at what are the short-term goals, and that's going to be a daily goal. What's something I can do daily, even if it's a very small action that I can engage in each day. So to give you an example of this, when I was finishing up my PhD, I was working on my dissertation like pretty much anybody else does, and I found it somewhat difficult to have motivation to engage and work on my writing. And so what I did to make it easier is that I made a goal daily of writing for at least 2 hours. And that was the goal. There was nothing more specific about it. The only caveat is that whatever, during that time, that 2 hours, I could not engage in any other behaviors. I could not do anything else during that time. So on each day, I was writing. No matter how little I got done or how much I got done in that 2 hours, I was writing and I was only focused on that task. And that was actually one of the best goals that I could have set to continue to move me towards the finishing of my dissertation. And so those are the types of goals that we need to set on a short-term basis to move us towards a long-term goal of ultimately finishing my dissertation and be able to get that defended. So let's look at from a different standpoint what these goals should look like. And so I've mentioned a few of these things already, but let me lay this out specifically. Excuse me. So first is we want these goals to be specific. Okay, so a lot of times when people are setting goals, they have a difficulty because the goals that they set are not specific enough. So, and a good example of one that I often hear is weight loss. I want to lose weight. Well, that's a great goal to have, but the problem with it is that we don't know how much weight you're trying to lose. We don't know how long it's going to take you because we don't know how much weight you're trying to lose. And so, to be more specific, it's going to be, I'd like to lose, say, 10 pounds. So that's a great start to making this goal a very good and a very smart goal that we can attain. So we have a more specific goal, losing 10 pounds. Measurable. Okay, we have to make sure that the goals that we're making are measurable, not something that's very ambiguous like losing weight. That just losing weight in general is ultimately too ambiguous. So measurable. 10 pounds is something we can measure. You measure it by the weight at this point. And then at the next level we have is something that's attainable. Is it something that's attainable? Are there things that are going to hinder you from being able to reach this goal? Are there constraints? And so we have to look at ourselves and say, is this truly a goal that we would ultimately be able to achieve and be realistic with, or be very logical and be very calculated about whether or not that's the case. So we have to analyze the things that we have at our disposal and make sure that that is the case, that we can actually make these goals. And at the next level we have, is it realistic? Is this something that I really am going to put energy in and effort into pursuing? And then ultimately, is this time-oriented? So one of the things that's often important is that we want to make sure that we have time that we have allocated to the goals. So if I say that I want to lose 10 pounds, but I don't really give myself a time frame that I want to do that within, then I could be dragging this goal out for an extensive period of time. So maybe I should say in 6 months. By the end of 6 months, I want to have lost 10 pounds. And the thing about time that helps is that we can do research, right? We can look at how much time does it take for a person to typically lose 1 to 2 pounds, depending on how they're doing it. You know, oftentimes we see that people can lose 1 to 2 pounds in a week or in 2 weeks if they're doing it at a very good moderate pace in terms of their calorie cutting. And so Then based on that, we can use that to calculate how much time it would take us to lose 5 pounds and how much time it would take us to lose 10 pounds ultimately. So this is what we need to do. We need to set up the goals that we actually want. So make sure that we want the goals. One, look at our dreams and determine what do I truly desire ultimately for myself and for my life, and make sure that's something that I want deep down in my heart. And then we start setting up our sub goals. So underneath that overarching dream and goal, now we set up the goals to help us reach that goal. And within each of those goals, we want to make sure that they are SMART goals, that they're specific, measurable, attainable, they're realistic, and time-oriented. Well, that was it for today on goal setting. Hopefully we can make your tomorrow better than today. And don't forget to drop me a like. Thank you, and have a nice day.